Way now it's okay to hate Generation 3 of Pokemon. Okay. And yes, there are many controversies on the Gen 3 games of the Pokemon. Can't complete the National Dex. Okay, Gen 3 is like the only game where it's very hard to, but you can actually complete the National Dex, okay? You can complete the whole Dex, of course, if you have to have both versions for the version exclusives, but that's with every game. No National Dex. The game does have National Dex, unlike Sword and Shield, and unlike Scarlet and Violet, which don't have a National Dex because Game Freak's lazy. No hint game anywhere about Rayquaza or Latios and Latias, where he's very referenced, in the anime though, and the Wakario movie, but I guess you haven't watched that. No post game. It's called Exploring. No day and night. Real time clock basically does something. There are actually several things that use the real time clock, like for example the berries, which you can make Pokeblocks and that. Unfinished OST, which was fixed in Emerald. How is this acceptable to boomers? And before Gen 1, it had. Oh, of course, fucking genwunner. Of course, the fucking genwunner. Of course. Of course. Gen 3 had Violet and Leaf Green as well. And also had Emerald as well. Okay. And also had Pokemon Colosseum and XD. And also had several spin off games who had that generation, including Pokemon Mystery Dungeon as well. I know those games have, no ties to the actual main series games. They were a spin-off game, but it still had Pokemon Colosseum and XD. If we're counting that as if we're counting fucking Pokemon Stadium as post game, this is why I hate 90s kids and Gen 1ers, okay? It's funny they bash on everything more recent, but then when it comes to, they'll criticize the so-called childhood games, they'll get all defensive, okay? But we can't we can't defend any rated Gen. This is a Gen 1er, obviously. Because if you want to have the most unfinished games in the series, we'll get Pokemon Sword and Shield, we'll get Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. With the Crown Tundra, and the, what was the other DLC called again? I don't remember, but, Gen 8 and Gen 9 are the most unfinished games in the series, okay? Not Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. And the reason why the reason why the National Dex is so difficult in those games is because there was no way to trade from the Game Boy to Game Boy Advance. They did fix it with the DS games, obviously, and with the 3DS to the Switch, they did fix it with Pokemon Home, as long as it's still open, but at least there are ways so people can transfer games to the newer games. But yeah, that's what this video here, and goodbye.